Okay, hello, my name is Dr. Shambles and this is a very weird video to do. I just want to get out here in the intro. Yesterday I made a post on my community tab where I said I kinda had to give up on the ace leader, the new blue-yellow ace. This is the very next day and I slept through it, but I still, by the way, I was playing a little bit with him just now. And the deck truly is bricky, and I kinda had to give up the guide that I was planning to do. It just did not sit right with me that I put so much effort into trying to make this guide and to try to optimize the deck. Then I just felt bad. I'm just gonna be honest, I felt bad. So the guide is still not coming, but I still wanted to talk to you guys about this, about the leader. Don't worry, this video is still his gameplay. If you guys want to skip through this intro, timestamps will be in the description. But I'm just gonna explain what I'm going to try to do in this video before we go into the gameplay, which is I'm gonna show you deck profiles, and I'm just gonna tell you all the research I did and what I believe the deck can do and will be doing on OP07, because I believe on OP07 Ace will still not be meta, or it will still be very hard to win with him, but he'll be more viable, and I'm gonna give my arguments on to why I believe that. So this video, I'm just gonna go through a little bit of my deck profiles that I've been trying. I'm gonna talk about why I chose the cards and why I like them very much. Then I'm going to talk about the OP07. Then I'm going into gameplay, trying the deck. Now, I'm still haven't gone through games, obviously. I'm recording this before I go into games. So if we win, it'll probably be because we got lucky and we got our effect off very well. And if we lose, that's, to be honest, very normal, because the deck just does not have any consistency. With that said, I'm just going to show you guys here something. There you go. So I just felt so bad that the guide is not coming, so I'm just going to show you really quick what I was doing. So this was the guide. I read all of this. This was trying to feel how you would feel about the deck, some plays that you could actually do. There's some combos that people actually don't use when I see the videos, when I'm researching. And this is the thumbnail, which is a really cool thumbnail. I really like this thumbnail, by the way. And where is the last? Oh, there you go. And here we would have the images on some of like the normal that I do with the guide. I just put a lot of efforts into guides. And it's a kind of a shame that the guide is not coming, because I just don't think the deck will be viable up until the OP07. Still, I decided to just make this video. We'll go through the deck profiles. I'll just give you every single detail of research that I do. My opinions, remember, my arguments are my opinions on the research I did and what I believe. So you guys can take this video, and please do take this video and just comment below if you agree or disagree with me. Please do present some arguments on to why. If you guys have some other tech cards that you really want to talk about, please do. Just help me, guys, here. I really want to try to make this deck as viable as possible, even on OP07. On OP07, I'll talk about this deck again, and that's when probably the guide will come. But for now, I just need help to make the research. So hopefully you guys can help. Okay, so here we are. Right now, I'm just showing you guys the OP06. I believe OP06... like, this is pretty much the normal. Like, the deck profiles do not differentiate much up until a very specific deck list. There's already some, obviously this is not all my ideas, this was through research, but this is just the OP06. Like, I believe this is really good. It actually functions well, but right now I really don't want to test it out too much, because here on the sim, the OP06 it's with EB01, so people are most of all they're playing EB01, and people that ask for OP06 duels assume that this is the second half of the OP06, so they don't really want to play with this. So I don't really test this out. I just use some of my knowledge on EB01 and pretty much adapt it here. But the deck is pretty normal. You guys are not seeing many differences. This is the normal. So I'm just gonna skip a little bit through the EB, which is the deck profile that I believe has the good content. So I'm just gonna go through. This is my AB01 and I'm gonna just explain the reasoning of the cards I chose and the ratios. So first of all, it's 3 pudding. Pudding actually on AB01, for what I saw, is very debated card. So on OP06 people usually like to play 2 or 3. I just like 3 and I still play 3 on AB01 because although you cannot search this with your leader ability, or in any way, by the way, I still need 3 because this is a very good tech card to finish game. If you can get your leader ability going and keep your leader at 7k on the opponent's turn, you'll find that most of the time you are very aggro. So what happens is they just take their lives very early and keep taking lives and keep taking lives, and that builds a lot of hand advantage. And then to finish game, I just drop this and just reset their hand, and it's a really good and easy way to finish. I play 3 to make sure that I have the most optimal ratio and percentage of finding this card on late game, at least mid to late game. I don't play 2 because here's the thing, I used to play 2 and on the simulator it's already very rare to find this card. And the sim shuffles the deck better than you do. You're a human being, you will never shuffle the deck better than an algorithm. So I decided to bump this, not only because on real life I will not shuffle the deck as better on the sim, so I need the better ratio to find this, but I was already struggling to play just 2 and was not even finding it on the sim. So this is why I'm playing it at 3. I believe this is one of the strongest cards. This is almost your Diablo Jumble if you guys play red. Like resetting the hand and then just making big swings will help you so much to finish the game. So there you go. Next, it's Tsuru. I actually am thinking about removing this for Yamato. Now, the reason why is this deck relies a lot on hand advantage, and I thought you guys could get a lot of hand advantage, and you can here on OP06, thanks to the Sanji's Pilaf, so this card makes more sense there. But on AB01, I actually am not finding this as good. So the on-play effects and the theory in all behind it, it's very cool. So she's a 5 cost character and is a 2k counter. You'll pretty much always be using for this, because the effect on play makes you trash 2 cards. And AB01, you will not have as much hand advantage as you would do on AB01 or on OP06. The reason is, I'll know you play Flampe and I'll get to that, but Flampe, when you drop, you pretty much are taking a card out of your hand to get another one. So you're just really just getting the draw 2 from Sanji's Pilaf, pretty much. And so yeah, discarding 2 cards, you won't have that much hand advantage specifically against meta decks. This is because meta decks on mid to late game start swinging you with better numbers, and you pretty much gonna have to use your resources from hand to counter if your leader is at 7k. If your leader is at 5k, it's gonna be very hard, and you probably won't want to trash 2 cards anyway. So not only about you have to trash 2 cards, but it's not you that chooses the cards that go back to hand. So this is only good if your opponent only has one card on the field. So this is viable against, for example, Sabo, that does not build as much board. But everything else that you go against, pretty much all the meta, just builds board so fast that what they do is they just swing, and then they do their whatever they want to do on their turn, and on your turn you drop this and they just take whatever the most useless card is. Most of the time this will actually protect their board or give him some kind of counters, whatever. So I've just been using this as a 2k counter most of the time, that is searchable with Ace. So I was thinking about just switching it for Yamato. If you guys know other ways, other interactions with this card, this is a card that I really need help. But Yamato has a rush. This is not as good on mid, but on mid to late game you can actually just attach one down and make another swing, as well as Yamato being exactly as searchable as Tsuru. And not only that, if you don't see the Queen Mana Chanter, which is a card I really enjoy, Yamato can actually prevent your whiffs if you just don't see if you don't see what you want to see on your leader search. So yeah, for now I'm really thinking about Yamato, but for now I'll keep Tsuru because I really want help to understand the card. Next is Flampe. I already told you the effect. Pretty much if you kind of whiff with your ace, if you don't see what you want to see, what you do is you play Flampe. Flampe will give you that face up life so you don't lose it when you pass turn. And not only that, it will kind of replace itself by drawing. Now, this is very good, and obviously I am playing it at 4, and you need to play this at 4, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I am very considering still switching this for Viola. The reason is, you play Flampe, you take the card, fine, and then the draw, you don't know what you're drawing. And I believe this deck relies too much on the information that you can control. So what happens is, you play Flampe, you take a card, and if you draw a grown-up version of any of the brothers, this is already not optimal for you. So maybe I'll switch it to Viola, I'm sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. But I do understand the value of this card. I still enjoy it, because this is pretty much a 50-50. You either will draw into a kid's version, or you kind of will draw into a grown-up version. If you drop this and you draw into a kid's version, this card just made insane value. But if you draw into a grown-up version, this is not something that you really want to see, as you don't actually want to play them from hand. Still very weak, but still a really good card. But I don't know. I was trying around, by the way, and this deck does struggle with blockers. So Viola could eventually regenerate you a life at least on the drop. But yeah, this card is still a 2k counter, and if you can get a good amount of hand advantage, this could work really well. Satori, now I don't have any problems with this card. I think this card is really good with this deck. If you can get it, especially on early game from your life, you can just play it, build board to build even more pressure. This deck is very aggro and is searchable with your leader, so if you put it on life and find a way to bring it to hand, you just get a 2k counter for free. So it's really good. Next is Kozuki Yori, which is the best card in terms of, this is your best counter, this is your best card in case you whiff, because you play her and you take your top life and then you replace it with a card at your choosing. So obviously what you'll be doing is you take the card and then you put a grown-up version that you can then play a kid version and then just drop it. So pretty much this prevents you can get your full combo with this card. If you break a lot with this in a duel, it will happen more times that it will happen too often, by the way. So what happens is, if you don't have any kids version and you need the card advantage, pretty much what you do is you search with your leader, you play this, and then you just add the card and then play something with the trigger like Satori, maybe the Three Brothers Bound as well. But most of the time, like if I only have one type of kid, and it will happen, I have only one type of kid, but I really need to keep my leader at 7k as much as I can, so I kind of always risk it. Tell me, by the way, if you guys don't agree with this, and if I should just wait and maybe use my Dawn more optimally. I tried to do that, but to be honest, if this leader is not at 7k, is really vulnerable. So yeah, this is why I kind of do that. Actually, on my guide script, it did say that sometimes if you only have a kid version, you should not try it, but still. Next is Sabo. I hate this card. The only reason I'm playing it is because we really like the kid version to make us 7k, and then Sabo is the only type of removal that we are playing. I understand that people like Thunderbolt, but Thunderbolt is a brick in your hand, as you don't really want to play it from hand and really want to play it from life. And you only have Kozuki Hiyori to kind of put it on life in case you, well, in case you whiff and you take something and then put the Thunderbolt. So that is just not optimal, but I really don't like this card. This card is, there's a good interaction with it, which is you have this in hand, you have 7 Dawn at least, so you attach 2, you search, you kind of whiff, you see something else, like let's imagine you see a Satori, you're just like, okay, or a Tsuru. Actually Tsuru is a good example. You see Tsuru, it's like, alright, I really don't want to just replace this, so you just play the Sabo with the 5 cost, trash that top left card since it was already going to be trashed with your leader, and then KO something. So it's a good interaction, there's good interactions here, but I don't really like this card. Then it's Ace, which is the best card, no need to explain it. Garp is your searcher, no need to explain it. And Luffy is also not really needed to explain, as I explained the kids version make you 7k. And this Luffy is a really good game ender. So we, again, if we can keep going our combo, which is making our leader 7k, Pudding will make your opponent only have 5 cards max in your hand, and then Luffy will make 8k swings or 9k swings to finish the game. So really good card to finish the game. Not only that, it's really good against red color, because you can, sometimes I will sacrifice a life to make him an 8k body, which makes him super hard to remove, because red does rely on the power of the opponent's characters to remove them. Next is Three Brothers Bond. Now, I'm not playing the fourth because there's just no space, and I believe the other ratios are the best ratios I can possibly play. But it's just to try and add some consistency. So if I bottom deck any of the grown-ups, I'll play Garp and Three Brothers Bond to kind of cycle the deck and keep putting cards on bottom, so the grown-up versions of the brothers that were on the bottom of the deck keep coming up. So yeah, I only play 3, that's the... I think it's not bad, to be honest, it's actually working well. I see it the amount of times I want to see it, just like Pudding, so for now it's working fine. And next is Queen Mama Enchanter. So normally people only play Flampe and Hiyori, but I found that these two, you sometimes will have like 2 brothers and you'll like find the third one, just like, ah damn man, I just can't, I'm not gonna get anything from this now, I'm just gonna have not draw anything, put everything on bottom. Or if you put here, you're actually spending a Kozuki Hiyori or a Flampe to like get the Sabo, which is not as good of a counter into hand. And if Flampe, sometimes you get it from hand and then you just draw like a grown-up Luffy, which is obviously not as good as well. Like I explained, you really don't want to have the grown-ups versions in your hand, you kind of really want to see them in your deck. Kozuki Hiyori does help you with that, but again, if you guys know a more optimal way to get this all functioning, please tell me. So Queen Mama Enchanter is just a way that you make sure you get value every time. I'm only playing 2 because that's the space that I have. This deck will always struggle with space even on OPO 7. So yeah, I'm playing 2. If I see it very early game, that's it. I get all the value. This card, normally the deck is not, it's really rare for this deck to not find a 5 cost, but there will be times that this happens, but it will be very rare. So at least with Queen Mama Enchanter, I make sure that if I don't want to sacrifice a 2k counter from hand and risk to get another version of the grown-up, I just have Queen Mama Enchanter and just add the value to life. Kozuki will still be better because most of the time I do want to play Kozuki to just replace with the grown-up version and then just play the kid version. But still very good. And now let's go to the version that does not do that. I find it will be the future of the deck. This looks very weird, doesn't it? Now this is because the cards on OPO 7 are not out on the sim, but I'm still gonna shout out this anyway. You guys can see here another Ace and another Luffy. These are not these cards that are gonna be specifically played. What I'm talking about, and I'm gonna put a print on the screen right now, are the new yellow Luffy and the new blue Ace that's coming. I truly believe what this deck will become is that instead of playing Sabo, it'll just play another version of Luffy and another version of Ace. Now, obviously, I just put it 4 copies, and this will pretty much be a viable deck list, I believe, actually. And what's gonna happen is you need to play 4 of your searchers of the event and the Garp. Why? Because here's the thing. With these 2 new cards, you're gonna have 8 of each version of the grown-up version. Not only that, the blocker Ace, the blue blocker Ace, gets value anyway. So what happens is you will never whiff with your leader ability, never. I added more good ways, so with Yamato and Hiyori, Flampe, and Enchanter, you will never whiff, you'll always get value, and as long as you keep cycling, you eventually will find the 2 kids versions, and you know that the probability of you not being a 7k as soon as you get 1 kid version, it's almost impossible. And I truly believe this is the way that the deck is gonna go. Obviously, I don't know if you're gonna play 4 of each. I will be very tempted to. And I believe that's going to be the future. If not, it's not the future of the deck. I believe it's going to be a very interesting and viable way to go. And probably the way I'll be going over with. Not only that, the new yellow Luffy will have the removal that Sabo had, but better in some way. So instead of sacrificing a life, which is not what you really want to do, you really want to keep your lives in case you can't make your leader 7k, because you'll be taking more lives on those turns. At least you can play the card, and if you need removal, it'll sacrifice itself. I believe that's the effect. I just know it does not sacrifice a life, so at least it sacrifices itself to get value to destroy something in the field that's 5 cost or less. So I believe this is the future, and I just wanted to put this out. You guys, again, I'm just gonna ask you guys to comment if you guys agree with this or not. Maybe I believe we'll be playing 4 Ace and maybe 3 of the new Luffy, and then we'll play maybe another Yamato, something like that. I don't know, but I think 4 and 4 will be very, very interesting to see with the searches, and maybe we can get some other way of searching, some other way of drawing. Maybe I can put a Sanji's Pilaf on here on the deck. But yeah, this is just a demonstration, and what I believe, I truly believe this is how you're gonna play in OP07. And once it comes on the sim, obviously I'll make a video out of it. Now let's just go. This video is already becoming too long, but let's just go like one game or two to kind of just see how the deck feels, and I'm just gonna be very honest with you. Okay, we're against another meta deck, Enel. Now the last game, I believe he just disconnected because he didn't see that he couldn't attack into life. I guess he wouldn't have mattered because he had a good hand advantage. I'm gonna keep this. This is actually a very optimal hand. Nice. So I want to keep track of what I bottom deck. This case, I already know I'm not going to see as many Luffys as I would want. I'm just gonna make a 6k swing here. And I'm gonna play the Chanter. So now I'm completely sure that I'm never gonna whiff with my... Well, if I see I can whiff, you guys saw it on the little demonstration of Katakuri. By the way, we would have lost that game. Maybe I played bad. Please do tell me what you guys would have done. And so yeah, that's it. So if we see a 5 cost, we automatically will have value. So yeah, I'm gonna use Tsuru here. He's probably gonna play Ohm. I've seen people actually coming back to the... Oh no, okay. I was going to say actually I've been seeing people coming back to the Sky Island here on the sim. So there you go. As you guys can see, the only brother we saw was the brother we didn't have. So I'm just gonna do this, add this, and I'm just gonna make a 9k swing. We are keeping... Okay, so he's playing the Sky Islands. I believe what he can do is 1, 2, 3, 4. So he can play Dio, and then he can try and put the Holly. And once he puts the Holly, attaches 1, swings to try and get me my life. I'm gonna have to... Yep, there you go. I shouldn't have let Ace go. I should have let my... I'm gonna have to let it go. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Finally, we are not getting the rush, but at least we are at 9k. So I'm just gonna make a 5k swing here. Okay. And then I'm just gonna make a 9k swing here. Okay, we took some board. We're at 7k. I really shouldn't have trashed this ace. Sorry. Really should have just trashed another Luffy. This is fine. He can very well play he can swing 7 into me, then just play a big mom. Or not. I'm actually gonna counter this. And then I'm gonna take this swing. There you go. We got a Sabo, nice. Okay, he played another one. I'm just gonna use my ability again. Nice. I really can't afford to... So I'm just gonna give him the regen. And then I'm just gonna try and bluff an Eltor. There you go. Oh my god, he got a lucky trigger. He's probably just gonna swing... oh no. We're actually gonna take that. Oh, he's gonna play Yamato. If he plays Yamato... Okay, no, he did not. So we protect this now. And we protect this now. He's probably gonna play a blocker. Next turn, I'm going to try to just get rid of this too. Okay. Oh my god, we saw... It's actually fine. We'll just add. I really enjoyed this card because of this. Just gonna make sure here. He's gonna. I know he's gonna get 2 regens, but I mean, look at us, and we are not at 7k, so we really can't afford it. Not only that, he's with another swing next turn. We pretty much just lost here. There you go. It's just gonna protect everything and next turn. Yep. So this is it. I'll enter. It's fine. It just won, by the way, guys. It didn't matter what we had. Like, it just does this. Just like... We're gonna have to use all the cards in hand. Just protect this one. It doesn't matter. I know I draw into another one. Won't that matter? He can just swing for 5. Then attach everything and swing. So, there you go. GG. Okay, Moria, another meta deck. We do get to go second. I'm actually gonna mulligan this. Okay, okay. We got searches. Nice, actually nice. Okay, let's just put, as you guys can see, we're already bottom decking people, but we really, there you go. Now if I see any of the brothers, I can just play it. This is the most optimal situation we could be right now. Oh man. Okay. Now I'm actually gonna protect from this swing. Late game, here's the thing. I'm not... Normally you would like to take this first swing. But I already know late game the Moria will just get lives for free even if I'm at 7k. Not only that, I actually going to use my Sabo ability here. So trash top life. Got rid of the pudding. It is what it is. It's just gonna take here. They always take. This, like, the good part of the deck is you pretty much can predict when they're going to take or block. It's just super easy. Like, if they have a blocker, they will just block because they know as soon as you start whiffing your ability because you got too much search. As soon as you start whiffing more and more as the game goes on because you're cycling through cards, pretty much is... What the hell? Pretty much they know they just win. So we have 2 grown-ups now. Not optimal. At least we did see another kid, so very nice. So I'm just gonna make swings here. I'm gonna hope for the pudding. He could counter this with 2Ks. No, he did not. And now he has Kuzan. We don't have any type of removal. We would have to get a Sabo. Next turn is still not going to be at 8, sorry, so he cannot play Moria. This is still good. Select 1 card to trash. Just gonna trash a kid version. So we have variety here. Don't know if I'm gonna use this, by the way. I am not letting this go. I'm actually gonna take Sabo. At this time I actually don't really want to see... we need to protect our board, by the way, guys. I know I'm low on cards in hand, but we really do need... So now he can't play... Yeah, there you go. So we are at 8. That is absolutely fine. This is actually good. We're at... So now I'm just gonna make sure this goes. We actually could have made a play here. Gonna make a swing for 8. I could have trashed my life and draw one and then just make this a decade. This would have rush. He lets it go. It's probably gonna just... Oh. It's gonna trash a lot of cards then. It's fine, he can trash as many as he wants. Because he can just regen. Now it's gonna be he gonna play Moria. Moria will probably play Borsellino and probably his Inupe. This is not going bad for us. We actually got our lead. Like, this is the thing with the deck. It's actually a good... We could have made even more pressure with this by making another swing. But it's... I think it's okay. I don't think it matters, guys. But okay, he played the... Probably gonna play... Okay, there you go. I thought he was going to play Borsellino through Moria, but that's fine. Okay, okay. Now, nothing can get KO'd. This is good for him. Okay. So, what we do now is we make a 7k swing. We make a 7k swing. I think we won here, guys. This is actually a good demonstration of how the deck wins. Completely fine. Now we just make an 8k swing. Yeah, there you go. He didn't stand a chance. So this was a good, actually a good demonstration. When you get your ability going, by the way, we need to take this into account. He was not removing as much. He did not play Moria, but so most of the time what will happen, and I'm just gonna tell you guys because I just want to be honest. As soon as they start, if we start whiffing, right? This was just a perfect game. We just got insane, so this is a good demonstration on the deck at its strongest. But normally what happens is we don't get as much board and as much momentum by making our leader 2k 7k all the time, and as soon as they play Moria they just start changing the tempo around. This is usually where my pudding, she's actually right here, comes very handy, because they let, as you guys saw, they did let their their lives go really easily, and we will not have as much board as this, so pudding comes in handy because it just takes away all their hand advantage, which makes our fewer swings much more viable. So thank you so much for watching. I know this is probably a very long video. I just really wanted to get this out. This is pretty much a cry for help. I can't give up this leader. This leader is the most fun I have out of the 3. I actually played Luffy. Luffy is insanely OP. If you're thinking about making a deck over the 3, just make Luffy if you have the money. Do keep attention that Moria can be banned on the ban list, which I really hope. This will make Ace actually don't know if he still will be viable, if he will be viable, but he can actually do much better against the meta decks. But if he does not get banned, just do Luffy, and even so, Sabo is still better than Ace. Ace is just the most fun out of the 3. I really love this leader, and I really wish he was better. Hopefully, on OPO7, with that little thing that I told you guys, maybe he'll become viable. If I was wrong and we will not be getting rid of the Sabo, still fine, to be honest. It is what it is. I got used to it right now, but I really love this deck, and I haven't had as much fun as this since Red Purple Log in OPO5, which when I started this channel was because I was enjoying so much Red Purple Law that I just made a channel about it. And so yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm stumbling on my words. Like and subscribe, and once again, please do comments. I'm just trying to see if it's easier to get some knowledge into the video, you know. So instead of me going look for information, maybe people can bring it to me. It will make my job much easier, and hopefully this deck, I've been playing the deck wrong, and this deck is actually pretty viable, and I've just been making plays mistakes. That can happen. Again, I know I'm not the best player. I'm trying to get better, but really, I just do insane research. And at least when it comes to optimizations with deck profiles and overall theory of the strategy, normally I don't do so bad. It's just my gameplay that it's bad. So, sorry, I just rant here a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy Blue Yellow Ace, and goodbye.